Orun Boborisha for another day to bask in the goodness of Onile's sacred earth. Every day given is very special, and here are a few details, cosmic details, pertaining to how. I'm Ayansa JT Muse, and this is your early rising or your evening settling mystic forecast. Ekule, how is everybody doing tonight? Boy, if I felt any better, I'd kiss myself if I could reach it. This is Ayansa J Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast on 222.9 The Mothership, Mystic Internet Radio for the road less traveled. That was music from Nas featuring Anthony Hamilton with The World is an Addiction Serving Our Fix. And that song properly aligns with day 6 of the week, which it is the day that the Most High created the beast, the flesh, man, according to the book of Genesis. In many practice of Ifa Orisha tradition, Saturday is a day that venerates the Orisha Eshu. So all day long, we've been bringing you crossroad stories, as told through hip-hop artists. Classic hip-hop all day long to get you in that Saturn daily primal groove. And why does the spiritual self still need to embrace that carnal side? Because the name of the game is balance. Ibashe Ojo Abameta, that's the day of Saturday in the Yoruba faith or the Yoruba language, and that means 3 resolutions, and 3 sacred to Eshu. 3 is also the number of the Holy Trinity. 3 is a very powerful number all the way across the board. Well, all numbers have a lot of power when you know how to channel them and use them. Ashe, ashe. So I'm broadcasting live from my Twitter, my YouTube channel, 3 Facebook pages, and my Instagram. So make sure that you follow me on all social media so that you can experience the entire 7-day orbit of 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio. And of course, I'm bringing you the mystics, the music, and the mojo. So make sure you catch the forecast each and every night at 9 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, because this is time-sensitive information. Those of you that are listening over the mothership's airwaves, you are listening to the sounds of the Uchiwali, also by Nas, but of course the instrumental, because those lyrics are just nasty. But it's like that when the energy is primal. This is the day that vibrates most with the root chakra. So maybe this is why it's not a good idea to let the sun beat you home. Or why so many people go to the club on Saturday, then go to church on Sunday morning. Because maybe you did some things that made your spirit question some things. So this is the biggest energetic leap in energy, because tomorrow, Sunday, deals with the crown chakra. But right now, we still got 3 more hours in the Saturn ruled primal energy. So those of you that are listening over the mothership's airwaves in your cars and your desktops, on your Androids and your iPhones and all of those things, babies, please don't let the sun beat you home. I'm Ayansa J Muse. This is your nightly mystic forecast. And when I come back, we're going to talk about what's so great about the Saturn day that came today. Ashe. I painted this one red and black for you. Listen. It's Saturday. Saturn rises, primal desires, the day of the 6th. Be careful where and who you mix. Your mastery, your ego may need a fix, as choices form tapestries of a spiritual stagnant or a grown and blown. Try not to let the sun beat you home. Perhaps it's Saturday. The expose. Saturn exposes which keys we chose as pictures of crossroads, maps out guides. Eyes left, guide right. Iwapele, keep it tight, as yesterday's love turns into today's want. Temptations dangle to taunt, the flesh oblivious to haunt, the self prime for carnal indulgence, the big if. The house winds and wears of where our inhibitions take a shift, tricksters blow a kiss, and the wind gives a thick, stiff breeze of 3 resolutions. It's Saturn Day. And I answer J.T. Muse. Free verse, short poem. Ashe. And we're back. So, in case you're just now joining us, I'm Mayantha J. Muse, bringing you your nightly mystic forecast. So, before the break, we talked about Saturn days in general and just the energy of Saturn, the trickster planet, the root chakra, which is really carnal, and the keeper of the crossroads, the Orisha Eshu. Now, Eshu has no problem laughing with you or at you, so make sure that your choices are aligned with your highest destiny. And should you need some help understanding your highest destiny, give a girl a shout and get your personal session on, because I'm not just a 20-year radio connoisseur, honey. I am a 9-year seasoned spiritualist with 6 of them being all your priestesshood. So I master helping you solve some problems. So if my mama Oya is blowing some winds of changes in your life, her daughter is right here to help you understand it. I will post the link in the comment section shortly, but let's talk about tonight. It's July 29th, 2023, 8 days into Leo season, and I titled tonight's show Trickeries and Completions. Where did the trickery come from? The test of Eshu. And where do the completions come from? The daily numerology. And the daily numerology, today's math is a 7. And 7 is the number of divine completions. 7 is also the number of the year in general, as 2023 adds up to a 7. So, this is the year of completions. This is the year that we put a stop to all things, all habits, all thinkings, and all beliefs internally that are keeping us from reaching our next level. Ashe. And 7 is the number sacred to Yemaja, so that's a symbol of a rebirth energy there. There is also 7, the number being the number of Ogun in Ifa Orisha tradition, and Ogun opens and clears all roads. So you got some trickeries and you got some completions. So what are you tricking yourself into holding on to? What beliefs have served you for a time frame, but now it's time to upgrade the thinking? Because the trickery is thinking you have to hold on to a certain way of thinking and a certain way of life just like forever. When really things change, people change, mentalities change. And the way that you allow yourself to keep from self deceit is to be completely honest with yourself about how you feel about everything, as opposed to doing what you think society is going to like. It is the 6th Saturn day of summer solstice, and that's 3 by 2. So you got a double 3 energy working with the SU energy tonight. And it's the 2nd of Leo season. Tonight, the moon is waxing by the 3 squared, zodiac house 9. Sagittarius heading into its 10th house of Capricorn. So it's right on that cusp there. So you have some Saturn energy to work with as well with Capricorn, and some more 3 energy with Zodiac House 9. So between aiming high and waxing and your personal power and your carnal discipline, tonight may be a good night to do a meditation or some sort of ritual work that involves aiming your arrows high and being clear on the reasons behind your desires to manifest material. Why? Saturn is in retrograde, and our flesh is always being tested against our spirit. But there is a such thing as too much of one and not enough of the other. So allow yourself to find that balance so you don't become too carnal or too stoic. I'm going to let you marinate on that for a second, and when I come back, we're going to talk more about the quasars. I'm Ayansa J. Muse. This is your nightly mystic forecast.
Black, black tinged with red, cardamancy readings, Ayansa's glass gourd bottle art, books, crossroad gifts, crossroad inspired healing stone jewelry, and other consecrated mystic oddities. It's all inside the Mothership Mystic Boutique, the Saturn Collection.
And we're back. So, it's July 29th, 2023, and if you were born on today, happy solar return. May Ifa, may the Orisha, may your ancestors bless you with many more, filled with Bobo Ire, which means many blessings. You have a keen sense of humor and a quick wit, and you like excitement, and you're generally well liked. You are energetic, idealistic, and imaginative, fond of art and music, altruistic, and generous, sometimes to a fault. You are affectionate, yet domestic. So, sounds like if you were born on July 29th, you're a wonderful person to have in somebody's life when you keep all that balanced. So, those of you that are in the other 11 houses, show the Leos, show the lions in your life some love, as they're there to help you enhance your willpower. Because willpower is most of our middle name. And yes, the mother of the mothership is a resident of Zodiac House 5. Leo, stand up. We are in the last 3 days of Leo season's first decan, and my solar return is on the last day of the first decan of Leo season. So we're still in 100% Leo energy before we get into its subruler and Sagittarius coming on the 2nd. Okay. Speaking of my solar return, make sure you show your support for 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio's very first fund drive, where, I'm trying my hand at radio pitching and raising the funds, raising the support to make sure that 222.9, the Mothership, stays on the air. So make sure you show your support. In the comedic way of the stars, we have entered the season of Sekhmet, the cat goddess. You know, the one everybody had to play dead for so she wouldn't mow them down because she got so enraged by the injustice that she just. Anyway, we know the mythology behind that story, don't we? And in the African way of the stars, we are in the season of the witch and the judge. So we're in full on fire energy, Ibashe Shango. And what does fire do? Transform. Turns everything into ash, and ash is nutrient for new soil. So when you turn all that over, after you burn it up, then you can grow new things. Ashe. We are in 4 planetary retrogrades right about now. So listen up, Tauruses and Libras. If you are a Taurus and a Libra, or you're close to one, pay close attention to your energy from now until September 4th, because that's how long Venus is going to be in retrograde in the fifth house of Leo. This is not a good time to start a new relationship. Why? Because when it comes to the exes coming back, be prepared for Groundhog Day. Because a lot of your has-beens and coulda-beens are going to be coming back into your life. Why? So that you can learn the lessons you need to learn from them in order to be prepared for real, true love. Because each and every one of our relationships are designed to teach us not only how we relate to others, but how we relate to ourselves. So let's hold back on the projections when those opportunities present themselves, because it is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and in some cases, to reconcile. Not a good time to plan a wedding or an anniversary trip or anything of that nature. No cosmetic surgeries, no tattoos, no threading. Any beauty things that involve a needle, don't mess with it until after September 4th, as Venus is in retrograde and you run a higher risk of coming back botched. You don't want that. This is also not a good time to spend on frivolous things. This is not a good time for the masculine force of driving things out. There's a place and time for that. Now is the time to sit and receive and reflect. And that's the power of the feminine energy. So, with Venus being the planet of love, sex, beauty, money, and those of you that practice Ifa or Risha tradition, this is a good time to really get closer to the essence of Oshun and reflect on the love in your life. So, when your mind tries to take you back to those negative memories, you can always recall the memories of loving and being loved. And if you don't have very many of those, now is a good time as ever to start. Venus's big sister, Neptune, the planet of divine compassion, is also in retrograde from June the 30th till December 6th. Now, that's a lot of three energy working in there. Okay. So, that's a lot of issue, crossroad energy on higher levels because Neptune deals more with intuition, spirituality, ideals, dreams, and it's retrograding in its strongest house in the house of Pisces. So, if you are a Pisces or are close to a Pisces, allow yourself to breathe and have love and have patience for them as best you can. Be mindful of delusionism. And what do we separate delusion or what do we compare it to? How do we separate delusion from the dreams that we're actively manifesting? Everyday action. The actions and the work that you do towards what you're manifesting is what saves it from being a delusion. Wishful thinking with no fruit is like a bow without an arrow, faith without work, dead. Avoid disconnecting from the people that you truly love because too much isolated time in your head can lead to a lot of delusions, assumptions, and things that just aren't good for your ori. Avoid vices because they are a form of escapism. Saturn is also in retrograde, and we're in retrograde from June 17th until November 4th in the house of Pisces again. And there's still a lot going on with Piscean energy because we are in the process of shifting between the Piscean age of believing and the Aquarian age of knowing. And this is a time to reflect on important life lessons at a deeper crossroad and check your priorities because we think we may have our priorities in order, but let's pay attention to which of our energies is creating our priorities. Because when your spirit creates your priority list will be different than when your carnal self is making your priorities. Master your self discipline, express the deepest things that are on your spirit, and sit back and reap the rewards of self mastery. Now we also have Ogun's planet in a higher level, or like I'd like to say Ogun Onire. That's in retrograde in the planet of Pluto, which went in on May 1st in Aquarius and will be coming out on Wednesday, October 11th. Now it's the most subtle of the retrogrades, but in the spirit world, what's large is small and what's small is large. So pay attention to those little things that are changing in you and allow them to happen. Allow your old chapters to close. Allow yourself to end old relationships and things that no longer serve your higher being. So these four planets are in retrograde together to help you to reflect on the things that their energies rule and make the changes that need to be made so that you can get to your highest level of spiritual being. I am Mayanza J. Muse. This is your nightly mystic forecast. And when I come back, we're going to get to your nightly cartomancy reading. I almost said tarot, but I read playing cards on Saturdays. Haitian voodoo tradition. Beam up.
I ain't coming for no foolishness.
Endorphins. The human body's natural way of accessing its own built in healing medicine. induced by laughter. The tricky thing is, Ibashe is one can learn much about a person's spirit and soul through the very things that humor them. And there are a special breed of crossroad children who specialize in the art of creating truthful humor out of anything, anything, anything from sex to society and even from their own personal pain. So funny it's even a little bit sinister. And we call those crossroad children comedians. So join us every Saturday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time to stimulate and release some endorphins. Spark your root chakra. Get your giggle on with some of history's most profound comedians as well as the local ones. They say that laughter is the best medicine, so beam up and get your dose. That's Sinister Endorphins, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Saturdays. Only on your Mystic Haven on the airwaves, 222.9 The Mothership. Beam up.
And we are back. So, those of you that are listening over the mothership's airwaves and bumping the Uchiwali over this sultry vocale of mine, you get the benefit of just picturing what a six of spades looks like. Those of you that are on Instagram just get to hear me talk about it, but let me go ahead and show you the card. We all know what a six of spades looks like, don't we? But what we don't know is that the six of spades in the cartomancy deck, or the playing card divination through playing cards, is actually your original six of swords. And I've got more info, got more mojo on that coming up later. But right about now, the six of spades shows up right side up. Okay? So this is the card of fate, and there's a deep alignment here because this is the sixth day of the week, six, second six, and it's the sixth, sixth Saturn day of summer solstice. So we got three sixes going on here. Oh, don't be scared. That's just the number of carbon. No number that the Most High created is an evil number. So let's not be deceived by that. This is the card of fate. And what this means is whatever is going on in your world right now in terms of completions and beginnings, don't get discouraged. Many of you are working very, very hard and you're not seeing very much result right now. But the spirit of this card is coming to let you know that everything harvests in its own season. The spades is also the first swords, and that deals with the air and thinking and things like that. So allow yourself to eliminate more doubt as you lay more bricks on the road to your highest destiny. Because by this being the card of fate, that means that fate is getting ready to step in and take everything you've been working towards and pin it towards your highest destiny. Move on with your future plans and allow yourself to surrender to your journey. Because sometimes we frustrate ourselves being too fixated on a single destination. And when you focus on a single destination, you're only focused on that destination, you miss the journey. When you focus on the journey, your destinations are plenty. The Six of Spades is also coming to kind of remind you that the things that you're working on that are pertaining to your highest destiny, even your carnal entities, even the carnal things that you deal with, are all there to work together, if that makes sense. It's a warning card, though, about your personal life. Try to stay away from conflict. And anyone that is not cooperating naturally, is not naturally harmonious with your dealings, allow yourself to just release them. Because many of us who are working from a spiritual place cannot help but attract people who come with their carnal energies in mind. And why so? Because you're the drink of water or they're the empty cup. And this doesn't make people around you bad people. It just means that they are not yet balanced. So when you're working on things pertaining to your faith, only leave room for people in your inner circle, for people who are working towards their highest destinies. And when you do that, it naturally aligns. And things that are naturally meant to align don't create unnecessary conflict. So let's see more about this warning about people around you. Some of you, it's coming through the form of a young man, because in flipping the deck over, that means that there is some lessons to learn from a young male. Hmm, a jack of spades, huh? So some people who are jack of trades are actually jacks of spades. So be patient with those that are immature, but keep an eye on those who are unreliable. Okay, so with the jack of spades showing up with the card of fate, hmm, this speaks to someone in your life that may mean well, but they just may be in the way of what it is you're trying to do. And people who are in the way, you have to kind of leave them to their own choices. It doesn't mean that you mean them harm or that they're bad people. It's just that they're not laying bricks on the road to your destiny. And time is of the essence, time is money. And so allowing yourself to use your spiritual currency on someone who's not using it on themselves can create stagnance for you. And that's not a good day. So allow yourself to release those that are immature, that are not yet on your level spiritually, and may get in the way of your progress. That doesn't mean that you have to completely cut them off, because there are people in your life that are still trying to grow. So allow yourself to simply step back and lead by example. I'm Ayansa J. Muse. This is your nightly mystic forecast. And when I come back, we're going to discuss some things that need to be talked about when Saturn passes the baton to the sun, when Eshu turns things over to Obatalak, and Saturn Day becomes Sunday. Ashe.
Tarot readings. A lot like peach cobbler or a sweet potato pie. You may have tried many others, but you haven't had mine. Many powerful things come in threes, including tarot spreads. So take a look at your past, present, and future with the Draw 3 Tarot Spread by Ayansa J.T. Muse. It comes with a zodiac analysis and 6 different tarot decks to choose from. My recommendation? The good old-fashioned pack of poker deck playing cards on this one. So want to look at things in your life in threes? Then try out a Draw 3 Tarot Spread, brought to you by the Mothership Mystic Boutique. All proceeds go to 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio. Ashe.
All this spiritual stuff, you need somebody to just make it plain. Are you trying to divinely align? Are you a starseed? Are you too busy building the kingdom, building the queendom to come for all the madness going on in the world today? Methods of emotional healing? Are you taking your first steps down your spiritual path? Want a more practical understanding of the Orisha? Do animals seem to communicate with you? Do you need to sort out some things about love? Do you see numbers? Spiritual signs? Need somebody to just make it plain? Does your love for esoteric wisdom coin you a student of life? Do you like wisdom in poetic bars? Are you ready to debunk the spookism behind ancestor veneration? Want to learn how to make medicine? Want to learn about different tools of divination? Tantric spiritual sex secrets? Ways to utilize each and every moon? Do you walk the road less traveled? Are you considered strange by society? Are you discovering your spiritual gifts? Do you want to taste the power of words through incantation? Do you want to get into some unorthodox Bible teachings? Do you dream often? Do you long to explore the secrets of the earth's endless mysteries? Do you study the stars? Do you need tips on building good character? Do you want to know more about how to interpret dreams? Do you love some good literature? Need somebody to just make it plain? Then indulge in the art.
Indulge in the art.
And indulge in the art. Indulge in the art. And indulge in the art. Indulge in the art. The art of spirituality in Iyansa J. Muse's Orbit.
Iyansa J. Muse's Orbit is a monthly subscription service that features free and exclusive content dedicated to your versatile, well-rounded, deeper understanding of spirituality. It comes from all angles, teaches all kinds of lessons, and it cooks like a gumbo, a whole bunch of different spiritual ingredients and one spiritually flavorful soup. And let that soup feed your soul and enhance your highest spiritual life. It even features an opportunity to have a one-on-one counseling session with yours truly. So don't get left behind. Get beamed up to the orbit. All proceeds go to 222.9 The Mothership, Mystic Internet Radio. Sign up for the 222.9 The Mothership Internet Radio email list to stay in the exclusive loop of what's going on in the orbit. Ashe.
In Iyansa J. Muse's Orbit. High-level spiritual wisdom. Fully flavored with no holds barred. A question on the heart is the spirit's thirst for clarity. Readings, consultations, I call them intuitive counseling sessions, but you know what I mean. They're kind of like gumbo or peach cobbler. You may have tried many, but you haven't had mine. I can say I met the divine when I was about 9. Ever since I was 16, I found myself wondering, do I have an invisible "please come tell me your business" sign taped to my forehead? Then one day I was sitting at the bus stop at a crossroad, and I had the audacity to ask the goddess, why was I even sent to earth? And I became an ethereal, intuitive counselor. And the universe has been answering that question over and over again, one phone call at a time, for the last 9 years. From there, in between sessions, I began to relentlessly apply, align, and study the ways of the stars and of the ancients. 3 years in, Orisha priestesshood to Oya came knocking. Hence the Iya in the name Iyansa J. Iyansa, an Oya praise name. Oya is the Orisha who brings radical transformation and change. Make no mistake about it now, baby. I am no soothsayer. I am no fortune teller. I'm not a private investigator. I don't cast love spells. I'm not an emotional punching bag. I'm not a spiritual trash dump. I am not a haven for jinn spirits. I give guidance with clarity, with wisdom, with love, with truth. I unlock keys to your spiritual growth and your highest destiny according to your unique design. Ready for some evolutionary change? Let's talk. Did you like it here at the crossroad? The Jester's intersection? Then why don't you join me tomorrow for some R&R in the Alabaster Divine. That's www.poeticallymused.org/Alabaster Divine. Great place to spend a Sunday. See you there. Ashe. And we're back. So, it is the energies of Sunday on the forecast. I'm Iyansa J. Muse, the mother of the mothership and the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you the mystics, the music, and the mojo. So here's what we got going on for Sunday. Okay? It is the 30th of July, 2023. Damn, this year is flying by. And I titled today Strong Fun Fun. And Fun Fun means white. And of course, white is the color of Obatala, the king of the Orishas, whose ruling day is Sunday. In the book of Genesis, this is the day the Most High rested. So if God even took a day off, you might need to too. So allow yourself to have this day to relax, to reflect on the past 6 days, resolve, refresh, reset, and prepare for a new 7-day cycle. And the reason I titled it Strong Fun Fun is because the day vibrates on an 8, the number of infinity, the number of infinite possibilities, and the number that is sacred to the Orisha Obatala. It's the sixth Sunday of summer solstice and the second Sunday of Leo season. The moon tonight will be waxing fully in the house of Sagittarius, not Sagittarius, so we came out of that. That's Capricorn energy. And it's energy how the moon is waxing in Capricorn while its ruling planet, Saturn, is still in retrograde. So that's still a double scoop of R&R, relaxing, reflecting, on one of the last days of the first decan of Leo season. And Sundays are the day that Leos can turn up the most of the week because it's our ruling day. Why? Because Sunday is ruled by the sun, and the sun charges everything. So allow the sun to charge you too. Today will be a very excellent day to do some type of prayer to Obatala, egg cleansings, meditating with snails, going to church, those of you that do, giving honor to your ancestors, and just allowing yourself to rest and be thankful for the harvest that you already have. Okay? And in doing that, you let the universe know you're grateful. And when you let the universe know you're grateful, it gives you more to work with. On 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio, we bring you the gospel all day long on Sunday until the clock strikes 4 p.m. Then we crack open a coconut and enjoy ourselves some smooth jazz all the way up until time for your nightly forecast. Check it out.
Rest, restore, reflect, purify, gospel, white, old time religion. Ibasheo batala, ibasheo rumila, sermons, humility. Welcome to Sundays on the Mothership. Ashe.
And that's about it for the forecast. I'd like to thank you all for joining me, and I hope you gained something that could give you some energy to work with for your deeper cosmic alignment. Make sure that you beam up and don't touch that dial, those of you that are watching for all my video channels. And that's about it. So mama's got to get back up to the mothership and cook you up some more mojo because there's so much going on that I can't wait to share with you. Make sure you show me some love on the fund drive. I put the pin site in the comment section, and that gives you access to not just a portal to show support, but every portal in the Iansa J Muse orbit. So remember, the sky is big enough for us all to be stars. And in the words of George Clinton, free your mind and your ass will follow. This has been your forecast, and I hope you have an amazing, amazing day or night, whether you're watching this at 6 or listening at 9. Ashe. Oh, And stay tuned for what love looks like. On Saturday nights, it gets freaky, gets nasty, gets old school primal. That's necessary because the flesh does need a little bit of feeding, just not too much. And you raise that carnal energy so you can channel it into your other six houses. And that's how you get the real Kundalini rise. But there's more from where that came from. But right now, Mama's got to go cook. I'm my Auntie J Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. Ashe.
Every day is special. Why not find out mystically how? This is the forecast on your Mystic Music Haven on the airwaves, 222.9, the mothership. Beam up.